Today, the name Detroit brings to mind images of industrial grit and modern ruins. But long before the assembly line, there was another Detroit, a city of wide tree-lined boulevards, ornate grand manors, and a standard of living that earned it the title, the Paris of the West. By the 1880s, Detroit was one of the wealthiest cities in America, a place where the Gilded Age was carved into every stone and iron gate. In this journey, we are using AI to look past the decades of decline and step back into the elegance of a lost American masterpiece. After a devastating fire in 1805, Judge Augustus Woodward designed the city with a radial plan inspired by Washington, D.C. and the grand avenues of Europe. By the late 1800s, this vision had matured into a paradise for walkers. Look at the scale of these boulevards. Our AI restoration reveals the vibrancy of the lush elms that once arched over the streets, providing a canopy of green that defined the city's character. This was a city built for people, not for engines. The air was clear, the river was the center of life, and the architecture was a testament to the belief that a city should be as beautiful as it is functional. To understand the wealth of 19th century Detroit, we have to visit Brush Park. In the 1880s, this was the Little Paris of the city. Here, the lumber barons and shipping magnates built mansions that were essentially art galleries. As we restore these facades, notice the intricate detail in the stone carvings and the stained glass. Many of these homes have been lost to time or neglect, but through AI, we can see them as they were meant to be seen, vibrant, proud, and teeming with life. This was the era of the merchant prince, and their homes were the monuments of a city that believed its growth would never end. The heart of Detroit has always been its river. In 1879, the city purchased Belle Isle, and Frederick Law Olmsted, the man who designed Central Park, was brought in to transform it into an urban escape. The Detroit River wasn't just a shipping lane, it was the city's front porch. Our AI models have worked to bring back the specific clarity of the water and the bustle of the ferries that made every weekend feel like a festival. But change was coming. By the late 1880s, the quiet Paris of the West was beginning to hum with a new energy. Stoves, rail cars, and pharmaceuticals were making Detroit an industrial powerhouse. The very wealth that built the mansions of Brush Park was starting to build the factories that would eventually define the city's 20th century identity. This was the peak, a moment of perfect balance between old world elegance and new world ambition, a version of Detroit that many have forgotten, but that the bricks and soil of the city still remember. Imagine standing at the heart of Detroit in 1885, Campus Martius. Today it's a modern park, but in the Gilded Age it was the bustling intersection of the city's soul. To your left, the massive stone facade of the old City Hall dominates the skyline. To your right, the Detroit Opera House glows with anticipation. This wasn't just a city, it was the Paris of the West at its peak. From Campus Martius, the city radiates outward. Walking up Woodward Avenue, the scale of Judge Woodward's plan becomes clear. But it's on Washington Boulevard where the Parisian influence is undeniable. At 200 feet wide, this was one of the grandest promenades in America, lined with triple rows of elms that provided a cool green canopy for the city's elite. The Ransom Gillis House, Brush Park, in its original 1880s state, intricate red brickwork, dark slate turret, polished wooden doors, manicured lawn with a wrought iron fence, street view with a stationary black carriage in the foreground, sharp focus, high contrast. To escape the summer heat, the city crossed to Belle Isle. Following Central Avenue through the park, you'd reach the original 1884 wooden casino. Unlike the stone version we see today, this was a sprawling, ornate pavilion with wraparound porches where the sounds of the river and orchestral music drifted through the air. It was a masterpiece of leisure designed by Frederick Law Olmsted. As we move toward the riverfront at the foot of Randolph Street, the tone shifts. Here, the Paris of the West meets the workshop of the world. The Detroit stoveworks and the massive warehouses along the docks hint at the industrial giant Detroit was becoming. This is the moment of perfect balance, the beauty of the past meeting the ambition of the future. This shows Michigan Central Station, but not the one you know today. This is the original 1882 station at the foot of 3rd Street. Notice the red brick and the Victorian spires reflecting off the Detroit River. This was the city's gateway during the Gilded Age. The vibrant energy here comes from the horse-drawn trolleys and the peddlers on the footpath. This shows the majestic building, which was Detroit's first real skyscraper. From this street view at Michigan and Woodward, you can see the rooftop observation deck where locals would go to see the Paris of the West stretching out toward the horizon. This shows the Hotel Pontchartrain in 1907. Looking up from Cadillac Square, the street view captures the opulent stone entrance where the first automotive titans like Durant and Olds made their million-dollar deals. This shows the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, the first international subaqueous tunnel for vehicles. The street view at the entrance captures the high-speed movement of a city that never sleeps. This shows the Guardian building, the Cathedral of Finance, in 1929. From this street view on Griswold Street, the camera tilts up to show the explosion of orange brick and colorful tiles. This is the soul-stirring peak of Art Deco Detroit. We must also look at the places of entertainment. This shows the Fox Theatre in 1928. From the sidewalk on Woodward, the AI reconstructs the massive marquee and the Siamese Byzantine details of the facade. This was where the thousands who came out from the factories found their escape. Finally, we arrive at the industrial giants. This shows the new Michigan Central Station in Roosevelt Park as it appeared in 1945. This street view is iconic. The massive Beaux-Arts Tower standing as a silent witness to the millions of soldiers and workers passing through during the war years. Detroit is a city that has lived many lives. To understand where it's going, we must see where it has been. We hope this restoration helps you see the Paris of the West through a new lens. Which American lost city should we restore next? St. Louis, Cincinnati, or perhaps a return to the early days of Texas? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.